Hi there guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plonk production and welcome to this unpackaging video. Now the contents of this package aren't necessarily the most exciting thing, but there are a few things I want to discuss with the contents of this packet, so I thought I'd do an unpackaging or unboxing video. Obviously you've seen the title of the video, so you know what's inside here, so let's not dilly-dally. Let's take the very handy pull tab that Amazon put on their packaging. Let's make sure I've got no guff with addresses on it and stuff. Nope, nothing. And there we go. So in this package is a 128 gig SanDisk, as you can see from the bottom, SD, micro SD memory card for the Switch, an SD XC actually. The reason why I wanted to highlight this a little bit on this video is because this is the official licensed SD card for the Switch. Now when these were first announced and then came out, they were expensive. You could get a SanDisk Ultra or a SanDisk Extreme, which is their top end, the best bitrate cards, best transfer rate cards, for much less than these cards. These were double the price. Nowadays these are actually fractionally more expensive. I got this for, comparative to an Ultra and a SanDisk Ultra or SanDisk Extreme, this for about £5–6 extra. And there's a reason why I did actually go for the official card. So we're going to get it out of this packaging, and it actually turns out I don't need a trusty pair of scissors to get out of the packaging, because SanDisk nowadays make it far easier than it perhaps used to be. So there you go, nothing too necessarily interesting. I will take, maybe I will need the scissors after all, as I try and peel back this. So there we go, supposed to be easy peel bit of packaging, but it proved a little bit difficult for me. So there we go, there is the SD card. If I focus a little bit, there we go, you can see it has a little mushroom on there and it says Nintendo Switch down the bottom. Come on camera. Sorry about that guys, while I was trying to adjust the focus I ended up stopping the recording. It's probably easier just to have a manual focus. Anyway, so you can see it says Nintendo Switch down the bottom. You know what, when in doubt, buggering this one up, aren't I? There we go, I'll go on to manual focus and hopefully you can now see this. It says Nintendo Switch down the bottom, has a mushroom on there, says SDXC, and of course SanDisk. Cool. So I actually thought for a bit the reason why the mushroom is on there, because of course in the Mario games it makes Mario grow, that you are growing the storage of your Switch. Turns out that actually they should have a myriad of different designs of these cards. There's a yellow one with a star on it, there's the red one here, I think there might be a green one with Luigi on it, so maybe a red one with Mario on it, but they've all got different designs. So if I grab my Switch that's in the case here, so one thing I do want to also highlight quickly that I actually see people not do, and it kind of freaks me out, is if you've got your Switch in standby, turn it off completely. So you do that by holding the power button, and you might need to, I think you might need to get past the initial screen, but there, if you press and hold the power button, comes up with power options, and just click or tap, whatever, power down. It will then power down, make sure no lights are on, and then of course the SD card is situated here. And in a minute, and at the moment, I've got a 64 gig SanDisk Ultra. There we go. And of course you just take your SD card and slot it in. I'm not going to do that just yet, and there are reasons for that I'll discuss in a minute. But what I wanted to do is quickly, briefly talk about why I went for the official Nintendo card. So I'm just going to put these at the bottom there. So the reason why I went for the official card is there was a time where SD cards were frying people's switches, or rather, if I take off the handy dandy stand, they were melting just in this area here. There's a big hole coming through, and obviously it would break either the SD card slot or the switch itself, or something along those lines. When Nintendo released their own SD cards, they basically said to everybody, if you use the official SD card and it were to break your switch or something were to happen, we will replace your switch even if it's out of warranty. So basically what they're doing, they are guaranteeing this card won't fry your switch, essentially. Now, how are they guaranteeing that? What makes that any more special than that, you may ask? Well, people have done a bit of deep diving into these two SD cards and have found out that actually the SanDisk, the one with licensed by Nintendo, does have a few extra built-in features that stop it overheating. However, it's no different than a high-end one of these. So whenever someone looks at one of these cards and they think, bloody hell, that's expensive, or that's a bit of a pricey SD card there, they're looking at SanDisk Ultras or Extremes, not the more top of the line ones that would go in like movie cameras, people making actual movies, in which they need that performance, they need that guarantee. What Nintendo have done is gone to SanDisk, gone, get rid of all your guff, we don't want the Ultra, we don't want the Extreme names on there, we just want a decent, really good card, and here they've come. Now obviously, because they've now come way down in price, they weren't selling so well because of the price they were at. But that's why I spent a few extra pound on getting the official Nintendo one. Also, I don't know if anybody knows this, in order to get all of that information onto there, all you need to do is stick that into a computer, transfer the contents onto your computer, and then transfer them onto the SD card. I did that when I went from a 32 gig to a 64 gig, and of course I'm going to do that again when I go from the 64 to the 128, and this card will probably make its way into that camera at some point, or I'll just keep it around as a spare in case I run out of space on the 128, and I could just shift over to the 64, which you can do on the Switch, by the way. You can't hot swap, but you can swap out SD cards depending on what application, game, whatever you're wanting to play, use, what have you, and whatever card it's on, you can slot that in and then use it as you will. So yeah, the fact that you can transfer the data from one to another means it's not encrypted. Some consoles encrypt the data on the SD card. It's not encrypted, at least it's not encrypted for other devices, systems to see it. In terms of transferring the data, if you try to access any of it, it's probably encrypted in that regard. Only the Switch can probably access the data in terms of that, but at least you can transfer from one card to another if you've got a PC or a laptop or something. So yeah, I just wanted to go into a bit more detail about what it is about these Nintendo SD cards that make them a little bit more special, unique, than the other cards. And of course, if we come back to this, we can see I've got a lovely Mario Kart graphic on there. I think the back is pretty much the same as any other SanDisk or SD card that you would get. So there's that. So I'm going to go away, of course, back up that data to that card, and then start downloading some extra things onto my bigger SD card. As always, guys, please take care, and until next time, enjoy the rest of your day.